Did you ever buy cards of this guy? What about this guy? Or this guy? 3 different players, 3 different sports, one big thing in common: the hype train. Let's talk about it. What is up, RetroManiacs? My name is Mike, his name's Joe, and his name's EP. We're here to talk about cards. And are we even collectors anymore? Or are we just addicts chasing the hype? That's what we're going to be talking about this week, because we're going to be talking about the hype train and how it affects cards in the hobby. So we're going to start things off here. We're going to give you some examples of cards that we found by our crack research team here that we feel were really, really hyped up and maybe didn't work out so well. Joe?
Ooh. Remember when that 2021 quarterback class was going to be awesome?
So
you remember
good.
that?
So good, yeah.
Oh. From pick 1 to pick 12, I think it was. We had 4 or 5 quarterbacks that were going to be awesome. The one that people were the most hyped about, and the card specifically, 2021 Donruss rated rookie Mac Jones in a PSA 10. The hype was off the tracks, boys. This card maxed out at $3,000. A base rated rookie. What are we doing, people? What were we doing in 2021? A base rated rookie was going for $3,000. Now, it has made a resurgence from its low of $8, by the way. It has almost doubled from that $8 to about $15 now, because he has been playing well. He played well at the end of the last season with the Jaguars. I own Brian Thomas in a bunch of fantasy leagues. I miss Mac Jones. I really do. And he is now playing very, very well for the Niners while Brock Purdy is hurt. Ironically, Mac Jones, the quarterback that Kyle Shanahan wanted to draft over Trey Lance, and now he is actually with the Niners and playing well. But you can still get that card in a PSA 10 for $15. I don't know the math on that, but I know it's $2,985 less than what you would have been paying for it back in 2021. The hype was crazy for Mac Jones.
So you're saying there's a lot of room for growth in that.
There's a ton of room for growth. He just needs Purdy. He needs Purdy to never come back, and he needs to win the Super Bowl. Maybe we'll even double that $15 to $30.
You know those people that sold that card at $3,000? They're probably buying a couple right now just to invest a couple bucks in there.
Yeah, to bring their average cost down.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but the people that they're saying the people that sold at $3,000.
Okay.
The people that bought at $3,000 will never buy another Mac Jones card.
We'll never buy another card again. Another card again.
Yeah.
What example do you have for CP?
And this is like a poster boy for what we're talking about. The Zion Williamson 2019 Prism Silver rookie card. I mean, talk about the hype train. This is everything. This is all of it. This card at its height, Mike provided this number for me, sold for $6,300. $6,300 for a silver prism. $6,300, and then now they're selling for right now $400. But a couple months ago, before he the stuff started coming out of him being slim and being ready to play this year,
hype train 2.0 is what
right,
you're
right,
yeah,
definitely, yeah.
The hype train's coming back around on that.
It's not quite as long and quite as steamed the second time around for anybody. But yeah, I mean, this is good. It's selling for was like $270, $250, $225, $275 back in like mid to late August. Now it's about like $400, but that's a far cry from that $6,300 peak for sure.
And that's part of what we're talking about this show, is that we never learn. So many collectors never learn. My example, and this is a guy who never even really got a chance to show what he could do, but his cards were going crazy. Wander Franco. We remember him, right?
Oh, yeah. Some of us do.
Oh, wow. No. He was on board.
He was on board the train.
Yep. Oh, no.
Wander Franco's 2019 Bowman Chrome Purple Refractor Auto, numbered out of 250. It had a peak value. It sold for $7,839. The last sale of it, $200.
I'm surprised it's that high. I
Yeah,
gotta be
I'm
honest.
surprised.
It's
Yeah.
kind of
Well, the last sale was like a year ago, so remember there were still some people thinking, "Oh, well,
rumors.
he'll get off."
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that was probably somebody thinking, "Oh, well, he'll get out of the legal situation. I'll be smart by buying this for $200." Also, his highest price card that sold was his red refractor out of the 2019 Bowman Chrome, his auto, numbered out of 5, sold for $200,000.
Jesus.
There is one of those that's been sitting on eBay for $7,000 that nobody's touching.
Oh,
Keep in mind, $7,000 sounds like a lot, but it's $193,000 less than what it's sold for, and nobody's buying it. I hope nobody buys that card, but one little bit of positive news to come out somewhere, and somebody will think, "Oh, well, I'm going to be smart, and I'm going to buy that card." So that leads me to like, what is responsible? Like, how does this hype train get so out of control? I wrote down a couple things here that just off the top of my head have like YouTubers like us, we're always out here touting who you're supposed to buy. No, we are not those people, but you know the people that do that. And when I first started watching sports card content, it was probably 90% that. Buy this guy, buy that guy. There's still a lot of that out there. And regardless of what people think, a lot of people are going out and buying the stuff that they hear random people in a YouTube video tell them to buy. Breakers, is it maybe breakers like the hype? I see a lot of guys that get really excited about cards that maybe aren't cards you should get really excited about, but breakers do a great job of hyping it. Even the manufacturers, we talked on the podcast this week, you had Topps showing the new case hit from Topps basketball, and they're always showing those high-end cards of, oh, you can get this and you can get that. And I think that creates a lot of the hype too, personally. What do we think? Like, who do you think's creating the hype, and then who's responsible? Is it like, is the seller wrong for hyping this stuff up? Is the buyer wrong for buying it? Is a little bit of both?
It's absolutely a little bit of both, because the word I hate to use it, but it's true, gullibility, man. There's a lot of people who are just super gullible in this hobby, and they see someone who is basically, there are some people who I would consider like the Jim Cramer of cards. Like, they come up and they're like, Will Greer is a better investment than Kyler Murray. Ironically, neither of those people are very good investments at this point. But, you have those type of people who are trying to tell you the next big thing. I'll never forget, the only ever piece of investment advice I've ever legitimately given is the people who I were very confused were buying Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams rookies and autographs at the height of their like powers last season. I'm like, if you're going to put money into anyone, money into Michael Penix or JJ McCarthy, because you can get them low, and there's too many people who are trying to get you to buy someone at the high for some reason. Like, that's not how this should work. It should be, oh, Penix is not even the starter or McCarthy's hurt. This is when you buy them. You always want to buy low and sell high, but it seems like people on YouTube want you to do the opposite of that for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it's something that rhymes with pump and dump. I don't know. It might rhyme. But I don't know. There's maybe a possibility. For the Mac Jones example, though, I do want to tell you this. It was the perfect storm for that card, because so Donruss came out the beginning of September of 2021, September 8th to be exact. I did my homework. September 8th it came out. And, the Patriots didn't start off too well. The first few games they had lost. I think they had a losing record after the first handful of games. By the time those cards got back from PSA, and let me just pull it up here. By the time they likely got back from PSA, the Patriots / Mac Jones went on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 9 game winning streak. People were touting him as the next Tom Brady. So those cards came back from PSA. When they did, guess what? He was in the midst of a winning streak. So those cards were going higher and higher. And it also didn't help that nothing else was coming out. Do you remember that weird time where Donruss was like the only thing available for some reason? So that was the only set that he had rookies in, and he was going crazy, and the Patriots were winning games. So you have those perfect storm things happen. And again, people don't see the forest for the trees. They see a Donruss rated rookie base card for $3,000 and like, oh, if he's the next Tom Brady, this makes sense. I'll tell you what, Tom Brady has Donruss base cards that were cheaper, I think, that you could get than this Mac Jones PSA 10. So just put that into perspective.
Yeah, to answer your question first, Mike. Yeah, it's definitely there's both sides are responsible for this. People want to sell cards; they're going to sell. Like, I have nothing against people selling cards, but the buyer has to have some common sense. And like Joe said, like the a lot of people in this hobby, they chase the rookies, they chase that sort of stuff instead of like thinking ahead. If you want to save money, like you should, like Joe said, buy the Michael Penixes and the JJ McCarthy's as opposed to buying the people that are already at the
Don't
height.
buy Penix now, though. He's playing well. Don't buy Penix now, EP.
Right.
Don't do it.
Yeah. It's, I mean, you said gullibility. I said that's our dumb brains are wired. We once you buy into the hype. Jaden Daniels last year was an awesome rookie, had an awesome rookie season. A lot of people are like, I need to get a Jaden Daniels rookie card, even though, like, from an investment perspective and this new asset class that we talk about all the time, it's a bad idea to. It's a bad idea to go and get Jaden Daniels. I also wrote down, like, just talking about the my card that I said, the poster boy for the COVID, like the hype train, everything. The hobby hype train, if you think about
started
it,
it all. Yeah,
right,
that
right.
Prism set really brought everything up.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about the hobby just going bananas, more people getting interested in the hobby. Also, the grading side of it, like we talked about the Zion being so many of his rookie cards being graded, and that just all kind of like ballooned. And then all of a sudden, COVID, the pandemic hits, and everything just exploded. And he was kind of on the front of that train, just like as the train's going crazy, he's just right at the very top of it, like just going up. So
he tipped it over crazy. From the weight, I think.
Well, yeah.
Sure, he tipped the train over.
Yep. In 2023. Yep. Just.
Yeah, and like with my example, Wander Franco, baseball in general, it seems like prospecting has always been something people like to do, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when the prices for some of these kids just being drafted that have a long way to go to even make it to the major leagues, but their cards are selling for thousands of dollars. Like, what do they have to do to be able to retain that value? You see a lot of guys who come into the major leagues and they're good baseball players, but their cards still aren't worth what they were like 4 years before they even got to the major leagues. So, like, it's just kind of gotten out of control with the hype for the prospects. In baseball, there's never a loss of them. Every year there's a new big batch coming in, and the hype is just crazy on some of those guys. I can't imagine buying any of the top prospect guys. Like, how are you ever going to get your money out of that? That's just going to be a losing investment. If guys are the guys, wait until they get in the major leagues, wait until they struggle a little, because I mean, how many baseball rookies come into the major leagues and dominate from the time they get their first at bat? That just doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. It's a big change in competition when they get into the major leagues, and takes some of them a while to figure it out. And I feel like that's when you should be buying those guys. Why would you I can't imagine so many of these kids that are 18 years old and just spending hundreds of thousands on some of them.
And that's one of the reasons why, just a quick show, that's one of the reasons why Wander Franco was so frustrating, because I think he was playing really well. He pulled the rug out from under himself, of course, but he was like this super high prospect that actually kind of seemed to be like, okay, well, maybe this guy's actually going to work out. He's going to be a really good player. And, obviously he Can't
Give
be
it,
in,
to,
What
Mason
give it
King's
some
happened
down.
time
Yeah,
to let
yeah,
them screw
yeah, yeah.
themselves over, right? They,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
honestly, that's what happens. I do want to make point too that the three of us, unbeknownst to any of us, we picked an athlete from three different sports. So this is not just a baseball thing, football thing, basketball thing. It's across the entire hobby. And to your point about these young prospects, Mike, we talk about Silver Sports, our friends Chuck and Ed. Ed has started to open up more Leaf products, or opens up Leaf products from time to time, and he like sighs every time he pulls a high school prospect. I'm like, dude, never collect baseball, because that's what like 99% of it is high school prospects in Bowman First. I mean, luckily that has not filtered its way. While there are cards for high school players and NIL and stuff like that for football, it is nowhere near as aggressive as it is with baseball. And there's reasons for that. But yeah, you're really risking the hype train on that one.
Okay, next, I'm going to play a little game here. I just want you to vote. I'm going to give you 4 different things here. I want you to tell me if you think it was real demand that created the prices of these cards or fake demand on the hype train. Just let me know. First one, kabooms. Do you think kabooms are collectively priced, or is it the hype?
I think they started off collectively priced. I do. And now I think everyone feels the need to get them because of the hype. I think the way it started versus the way it ended is different. So in its original form, it was collector based. These are cool cards. They take us back to that 90s Prism, late 90s Prism. But now I think it's more there's kabooms in this. I have to get it because I'm hyped. I'm being pushed to get them. So I guess that's a kind of a cheat way. Currently, as we are now, I think it's more hype than it is actual collector based.
I gotta agree 100%. Like, they used to be more rare. They used to be harder to pull, I think.
Yeah.
And now you can buy like they had those cases last year. Was it last year where like every case had like 10 kabooms or something like that in it, like some crazy stuff. So yeah, I believe that was the case. That we're looking at a card that started out to be very, very collectible and not part of the hype train, but the hype train kind of turned it into what it is today, which is not as collectible.
How about the Tiger Woods Upper Deck rookie card?
Ooh, that was hype train, man. There were so many of those. How much did we open of that to pull that card?
A lot.
And I had 3 of them. I mean, so clearly it wasn't like this rare collectible. I think
my question is, though, is it similar to the 89 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr., where even though there's a lot of it, he's still probably the most popular golfer.
I think the way to look at this one is the thing is, I think there's a hype train here, but it is justified. You're talking about the greatest golfer of all time, his rookie card, very collectible card. I think the Griffey comparison is perfect, but I think if this is a hype train,
same company, that is actually they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And Tiger, these cards came out after Tiger had started to become Tiger. So it wasn't like these came out 5 years before. That's true. People are prospecting. So, all right, next one, Topps Chrome Disney.
EP, you want to take this one? I can't bring myself to do it.
He just lobbed that one up there. We're just going to hit out of the park. This is the hypest of hype trains. Like, the price on this, the cards that they had in it, like it is 100% pure hype. And I haven't checked the prices on the secondary market. I don't know if the hype's still going, but it probably is on this hobby.
Any disclosure we want to make that we own 3 boxes of this? If anyone is interested, for double what we paid for it, we are in. It's not the biggest hype product that they've had recently. I don't know if you're going to bring that product up, Mike. You know what I'm talking about? SpongeBob.
Yeah, I know.
I think SpongeBob
that was too easy.
Yeah, that one's too easy. But again, I get why people would like it, but the hype was just through the roof with this one, and that's why the prices went through the roof too.
I wanted to set you up with an easy one, because this one I think is kind of tough. Maybe you guys don't, but the last one we're going to do, Shohei Ohtani cards.
I don't think it's hype. I mean, he's possibly the greatest baseball player of all time.
I don't think it's possible anymore. I don't think it's possible. I think you can't
Like
argue.
what he did well, I don't know when this comes out, do they play again, since we'll be talking about it. Did he have just an absolutely ridiculous game pitching and hitting?
3 home runs and struck out 10 batters. Like,
right? I mean, like, come on, like, so
to clinch the NLCS.
Yeah, arguably the greatest player of all time. I don't think his cards are as hype as like legitimate, like they should have value. The issue is, though, we're in this ultra modern era where there's just everything has 25 different parallels. So those different parallels get hyped. So in its pure essence, no, it's just he's that good. But also there's just a lot of stuff out there. So they're going to have to hype it a little bit to keep people interested.
There's definitely a hype train here, but again, I feel like it's a justified one. Just with what he's doing, like he is this rare player. Like you listen to these people that do the flipping of the cards, that sort of stuff. They always tell you, for baseball especially, you want to flip the cards as soon as they're either right at launch of the product or right as they're ready to be called up. Like that is the call. At worst, a rookie year, get rid of all the cards rookie year. And Shohei Ohtani had that injury after like 3 years of playing or whatever, 2 or 3 years of playing, and his cards dropped down, but he came back and is this still phenomenal player. And like his cards have skyrocketed since then. And so it's rare that somebody's cards can survive an injury like that and then go through the moon, that's what they all have done.
And we talked about Shohei a few months ago, and in some sort of like investment type video, not actually telling people to invest, but like values and things like that. And I remember saying the thing that makes him special, the thing he needs to do to continue to be special, is hit and pitch. I mean, we just got a proof of that here a couple of days ago with that game. Like, that's what makes him so special. So yes, it's justified hype, but it's hard to like define it because, again, there are so many cards of him out there that it's, I don't know. I think it's justifiable hype as well, but there is some hype behind it.
Let me say too that he had a terrible series against the Phillies, wasn't playing well at all. Then he has one special game, and all of a sudden the hype machine is going crazy. So I feel like that's kind of, kind of both on that. Like, he definitely has collectible value because what he's doing is special, and it's something we've never seen. I feel like we're all witnessing history. Mm-hmm. But when people live game by game like that, where he wasn't doing anything, and then all of a sudden he does something special in one game, and all of a sudden it like just blows up again. But
that's kind of the hobby right now.
It is.
It's 2025. It could be a pitch, a game, a series, a season. It could be any of those things. Could just wildly change the value of a card.
Yeah, okay. I will say though, it was one game, but I would argue that it's the greatest performance probably baseball history in one game.
That's pretty special.
Like, I mean, really special. Outrageous.
They'll have 3 home runs and 10 strikeouts. We're probably not going to see that by a whole lot of. Maybe we will see more players in the future.
Yeah,
though. So.
Possible. Yeah.
All right,
great.
So the big question to ask you guys: how do collectors avoid getting run over by the chugging down the tracks hype train? It's out of control. It's speeding down the tracks. Coming right for you. How do you get out of the way? What can collectors do to avoid the hype train?
You need to be Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man, right? You need to like hold it back where he looks constipated.
Wait, you're saying they need to stop the hype train themselves?
Stop the hype train for yourself. For yourself. Like this is like the cheesiest, most cop-out answer of all time. Just collect things you like. Like it sounds so simple. But just avoid the hype train by not even being on the tracks. Get off the tracks. If you are collecting cards merely for the hype, then you're not collecting cards. You're trying to make money, right? So if that's what you want to do, cool. Then this video is not for you, right? Go and do your flip thing. That's fine. But if you are actually a card collector, you're not going to get run over by the hype train if you're not on the same tracks as the train is. Collect stuff and maybe the hype follows. Like, like people, apparently some big YouTubers are talking about Star Trek cards now, right? Like, but
You?
I'm collecting. No, not me. Someone who looks
Bigger
kind of like
than you?
EP. Someone who kind of looks like EP who can't look directly into a camera. Apparently, they're very much into Star Trek cards now, which is great. The hype is getting there. But I've been collecting Star Trek cards before the hype train was there. Like, if you just collect what you want to collect, what you feel that you will enjoy no matter what the price does, then you're fine. You're going to just avoid the hype train completely and you'll be okay. You'll be in good shape. So don't even play on that same track as the train. That's dangerous.
I wrote down this as first thing I wrote down. We started when Mike was going through the intro for the very first part of this show was the word social media. So like that, the bottom line is just get off all social media except for this channel. Keep us subscribed, unsubscribe to everybody else.
Hit
get
that
off the
subscribe button,
Facebook, get everything else. Hit the subscribe button for sure because you don't want to miss out on our shows. But I mean, the social media. The one of the problems is that people get on social media and, like Joe said, they have to be part of. I got to get that Caleb Williams kaboom. I got to get that card like that. I got to get that card because it's gonna be worth a lot of money, and then I can sell it when he wins the MVP or when they win the not the World Series, the Super Bowl. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I mean, they jump on that train, and I don't think the hype train is all bad. I think if you are a Commanders fan, you've been waiting for something to be excited about, and Jaden Daniels is this player, and they're playing at this top level. Like Joe said, if you're a collector or you want to get into collecting, and like the only reason you're getting a card is because you want a Jaden Daniels rookie card, go buy that card. Go do your thing, and like they're probably not going to work.
If the hype train wasn't as crazy as it was, you could probably get that card a lot cheaper.
Probably
could just be able to collect it.
Right, but I mean we can't like the hype train stops for nobody. We can't stop that.
That's true.
To understand,
that's true.
Maybe just if they understand that they're going to pay more if they have to get a hype train type card, but also like Joe said, like don't worry about the price. If you are again that hard Commanders fan, you've been waiting for this for so long, just buy that card and just be happy you have that card, and watch Jaden Daniels do his thing and just be happy about that. I think like Joe said, the flippers are the ones that really hop on that hype train and really go bananas with it like that. I think that's they're more of a concern than than collectors.
And the one other thing I would add would be to just for collectors to educate themselves a little bit more. You see a PSA 10 Donruss rated rookie of that hot rookie, and it's the first one on eBay. Like, look back last year, see what the hot quarterback from last year selling for in a PSA 10. If it's a $200 card, maybe the $3,000 you're going to pay for Mac Jones might go, you know what? That doesn't make sense. And, just spend a little more time thinking about that. Learn how things work in the hobby, the trends of the first one on eBay is always going to sell for the most. The next one's going to drop. You know that if you wait a little while, you're going to get that card. There are exceptions, but very few of cards that are already hyped that go up. Mm-hmm. So if you wait a little bit of time, you can get that card you want at a better price. It's just learn a little bit more, check things out, look at prices, see what trends are, and go from there. And that way you'll save yourself a lot of money. Mm-hmm. But
it's also not that hard, right? Like doing that research, it really just takes a little bit of time.
TerraPeak is free, people. Yep. TerraPeak is free, or whatever they call it.
If you already have the eBay account, if you already have an eBay account, you can access it, right?
Yeah.
You're going to buy a card on eBay anyway. Just check the price.
Or just rewatch this video. If you think you need that Donruss rated rookie or that silver rookie, watch this video again to remind yourself, wait a minute, this card is going to be worth $8 in about a week. And by the way, if Mac Jones would have turned into the next Tom Brady, that Donruss rated rookie still wouldn't be worth $3,000. He could have won 4 Super Bowls. That Donruss rated rookie, which there are a bajillion of, still wouldn't be worth $3,000. It'd probably be worth a little bit more than it is now. So that just puts it in perspective for you.
What is even a Brady PSA 10 Donruss rookie worth? It's probably like
sure
$500.
10 is no. PSA 10 is
oh, really? Okay.
high.
But a PSA 10 for him is not equivalent to a 2025 PSA 10.
Right.
Sure.
Like take a Donruss Elite right? Which is the higher level of Donruss.
Mhm.
And I want to say for a PSA 8, it's like $1,000. That's a numbered Donruss card. You could have bought 3 of those for the cost of that one Mac Jones. Just put it in perspective, people.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Some good advice from the 3 of us here. Hopefully, you'll be able to jump out of the way of that hype train because we don't want you to get run over. We don't want to get run over either. So, good chat. We'll see you guys next week.
See you, boys.
See ya.